Hello everyone. Today I am proud to show you my first fight stick that I've made totally from scratch. Totally in everything besides programming the board myself. This uses a Pico Fighting Board, which is probably the cheapest standalone board you can get without buying like a used fight stick and like a cheaper Quandra and gutting it or something. But the Pico Fighting Board open source project is great, and it means this fight stick works on Nintendo Switch, PS3, and PC with X input. I just leave it in the Nintendo Switch mode because I don't have a PS3, and the main PC I use for gaming is my Steam Deck, as you can see behind me, and the Steam Deck recognizes Nintendo Switch controllers just as easily as X input controllers. This one actually, I don't know if you can read it there, but specifically it recognizes this as the Pokken controller from Hori for the Switch, so that's a little weird, but it works just as well. And yes, I am using an Atari 2600 to hold up my Steam Deck, and it works better than you would think. Anyway, I wanted to show this because I made it. It's not perfect for a first attempt doing something like this. Not the first time I've done any sort of fight stick making modding. I have installed a Omni Arcade Odin in a stick before and done my own artwork. This is so hard to see, but this is a. I don't want to move my camera too much either, but this is a. Hold on, here we go. Mayflash F500 that I did some artwork for using printed Polaroids. I replaced the buttons with Sanwas, and I put in the Omni Arcade Odin. I could do a full video on this if you want, but there's really not much to say about it because I didn't really build it. It's just Mayflash that I swapped some things out for. But this is something I made totally from scratch, and I'm pretty proud of this. So as you've already probably figured out, this is a Hitbox-style layout. Although what makes mine a little different is the movement buttons are here and here. At first, this was just because I could not fit all four up here. But honestly, I find like this is actually a little more ergonomic. I like it. Obviously, the main unique feature of this is the case, which is Spongebob. The only reason I chose this was because of the size. It's the same kind of form factor as a tin lunchbox, which I've seen people make fight sticks out of, and I always thought that was cool, so that's why I wanted to go with this. But it's actually smaller because this isn't really a lunchbox, it's a pencil case. I've had this, I had this in elementary school, and I just found it in my house, and I thought it was a perfect thing to use for a fight stick. I hope you don't make a lot of these kind of style pencil cases anymore, which is unfortunate, because I'd like to make more of these. Like, if I find another one with, like, I don't know, Ninja Turtles, Batman, or something, I'd love to make another one of these with that kind of color scheme, but SpongeBob's cool too. Nostalgic. Everyone loves SpongeBob. Got this, and yeah, you can see it also has this weird, like, coin slot. So maybe it was not just a pencil case, but a little coin bank thing. I don't know. I don't remember what I used it for when I used it for its intended purpose, but anyway, this isn't perfect, but I'm proud of it. You can see there's some dents that I have in there that came when I was trying to fit the buttons in. And here, this is the start and select button, and it's a double-sided button from Thunderstick Studios' Glen Retro Show, and this is the only way it could work. So here's the first one of the many problems I had making this, and I can't open this up to show you for the same reason, because the wiring is a mess, and getting it just right so the buttons didn't stick was a lot harder, and the only way to make it possibly work is to have this jutting way out, and I don't even want to talk about the wires, but they're just right so that this works and everything fits. This is a smaller form factor case, and I didn't have small enough buttons. Well, these are the same standard Sanwa size. They're not the 30 millimeters, they're the 24 millimeters. That's the only way this could have worked, and I don't really mind that. I have smallish hands. And these are EG starts buttons. I have a spare one here just to show you. So I like these a lot. They're a cheaper button that you can get on Amazon in packs of 10. And what I like about them is they have that tactile click like an American half button, but they have the form factor of a Sanwa. They don't have to deal with that long stem with an additional micro switch on the bottom. It's like all one thing. The big issue with these and why I wouldn't use these again in a small, if I were to make another fight stick with a smaller case like this, is the pins are extremely flimsy. And as you can see on this one, the reason I have this as a spare is it's broken. Like one of the pins broke off, and that actually happened multiple times during the construction of this while I was trying to get everything to fit. So that's the main drawback of these. I also don't know how long they last. I haven't had this very long, so we'll see about that. But in terms of like filling that niche of, I like my clickies, and obviously it's better to have the smaller size, so it kind of best of both worlds there, but yeah, the flimsy pins are pretty bad, and that explains why it was so cheap. But eventually I did get it all to work. The one button on here that's not one of those is here, and that was a spare from the Mayflash that I just showed you. This was the start button on that, and I replaced that button on my Mayflash too, so I had this as a spare. That's just the home button for this. It's in the back. I've noticed that probably not the best location for it anymore after dealing with this, because sometimes I'll accidentally press it if I have this on my lap. It doesn't go away too often, and I honestly don't know where else I could have put it. Maybe next to this, but I feel like I'd bump that even more often. But yeah, I'm pretty proud of this. I like the light blues buttons go very well with the Spongebob. And like I said, this is actually pretty ergonomic. This has become, since I've built it, my main fighting game controller, believe it or not. And I'd like to build more if I can find anything about roughly this size, because really the size is what I think sets this apart, because I don't have to do this. I can just rest it like this. It's just a perfect size for me. I mean, it's not going to be the same for everyone, but it's a perfect size for me. Last little thing about how I built this, just in case you're interested in building your own. These are all holes that I just did with a standard drill hole saw. It was had to be a bimetal one because this is a metal case. And I just got a fairly affordable one. Used it with my power drill, and you had to put a lot of force to get it in there, and that's why some of those dents came up, but it worked pretty well. The buttons didn't fit in right away, so I used some standard pliers to pull backwards to create a little bit more of an opening, but I didn't have to do that too much. And once they fit in fine. So now I've explained this whole thing, I'll just kind of demonstrate it for you a bit, I guess. So first I'll go to the input test, and sorry that the Steam Deck screen is a little blurry. It's hard to get the autofocus to focus on two things at once here. But yeah, there's your directionals, and this does the Pico board does have an SOCD cleaner, so you can see I can't do left and right or up and down at the same time. But everything else I can do multiples at the same time. Yeah, so that's that. Let's see some Street Fighter. Street Fighter 6 is out, so I will be opening that up. I probably should have had it already loaded before I started the video, so bear with me while this starts up. All right, so here we are in Street Fighter 6. Just a demo using this. And in this game, I play JP and Lily mainly, but I know more people recognize Ryu's moves, so I'll show you Ryu first. Yeah, so moving, jumping, ducking, and great thing with Hitbox-style controls, I find way easier to do specials. And especially like Dragon Punch, which is normally one of the trickier things, just tap, 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 punch. Yeah, I don't really know many more Ryu's moves to show you. Maybe here, I'll show you Super finished off. Yeah, so there. Yeah, this thing, it's pretty. I'm not doing any like technical like input delay tests, but the Pico Fighting Board is known for having like very low latency. So yeah, this is my sponge box, for lack of a better term. Hope you enjoyed, and play some Street Fighter. Build one of these yourself if you want. yeah, if I make more fight sticks, which I actually have another one already in progress, spoiler alert, but I'll show you. But I'm actually pretty proud of this for a first attempt. It didn't turn out bad at all, other than the mess of wiring, which you're not going to get to see. Yeah, thanks for watching. Bye.